and Anne Marie have to enter, if you go to the URL you sent back on the nightly script, on an inquiry basis, if they don't enter the year applying for, which I'm assuming is a required field in an inquiry, and I guess if they don't give they have to say what grade they're applying for in the inquiry. I imagine that's required. If those two pieces are there, you're saying that the graduation year will automatically be calculated and populated in a nightly script?
Graduation year is, let me go back to the raw notes real quick. Graduation year is determined nightly based on year applying for, grading applying for, not current grade. Yes, that is exactly what they are saying. Let me look at your inquiry form real quick. Trace this back. Just want to make sure those are required things here.
And are they saying that they check the next day and it's not?
I don't know if it's user error. I don't know if they're just looking at it
Let me just
the moment it comes in.
Yeah.
So they know they're supposed to wait till tomorrow to do any procedures on these things.
Yeah.
Current grade is not required. But all you need is grade applying for.
Right.
And academic year applying for.
Grade applying for and year applying for, that's right.
So they are required.
Yeah. Let me look at that prospect that you gave me here.
Well, it's now populated. You sent it back to me saying this.
Oh. Let me just run a quick check on your prospect real quick. Let me do that. Hang on.
And the other question I had related to that, if you're able to listen,
Sure.
like the graduation year and the current grade can be edited. I would expect one or the other to be grayed out because it's because of user error. I mean, they could, if you're allowing people to enter stuff into both fields, they could enter. I mean, I'm not sure if how does the nightly script deal with someone who's allegedly in the class of 2013 but is listed as an 11th grader.
Yeah, I think they did that because of the kids repeating and stuff like that. So
but when you're in the current year, that doesn't. Yeah, see, that's. I don't know. It seems to me that that's one of those you really don't want to have out of sync, and people. When you go to next year, you deal with it. I mean, but right now they're in the class of 2013. Even if you know they're not going to graduate, or you know they're going to repeat mid-year, seems like that should be part of the re-enrollment procedures when the next year rolls over. What grade are they going to be in next year? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they should be able to change both to me. But given that,
I'll give them that. Yeah, I'll give them that feedback. I see what you mean. See where you're coming from.
we have secretaries who. We had a system way back when I built something in FileMaker Pro. Even that, I had to make it idiot-proof. And this is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Believe me, I know what you mean. So. Okay. So it looks like that is in fact working.
So what about that inquiry dates? Okay. So tomorrow that Sierra Reed should be populated, is what you're saying?
No, because she doesn't have a grade applying for.
Well, how did she get in there? It mustn't have been an online inquiry then, because
it could have been
a phone call or something. Because it's a required field in the web.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't the online inquiry for sure. Yeah, it was Deanna.
It's user error.
Who popped her in. So yeah, she just needs to make sure to check off grade applying for.
And which goes back to my original recommendation from last time we had that meeting. Use the web form.
Yep. Right, exactly. And I think I backed you up on that.
You did. It'll stop her from making mistakes. She's not good enough to not have the crutch.
Right.
And that family,
it really depends.
If that family already existed, now it's possible that family already existed. I'm not sure if that's checkable right now to see if that's why, because that was the recommendation we made. If the family already exists, then you just add the new person into that family. But my guess, my knee jerk is that they're
No,
new.
no, it looks like she added the family and added the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, the household was actually inserted on 1023 yesterday as well.
Has,
So yeah, the rest of them all have the grad year. So that,
But my point is, I'm not sure if all of those were done because of an overnight procedure. For all I know, some of those are wrong. You know, that she entered both and screwed up.
Oh, I see.
And in fact, the one you just clicked on could be wrong. Kindergarten next year might be the 2026. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want her figuring it out, and that's why when I emailed them back, I said have a cheat sheet. If you're going to have to, if the system doesn't do it for you, then get a cheat sheet. But the reality is, the system will do it for her if she just.
Those that she might have manually. So going forward, you're absolutely right. Tell her don't manually enter and just make sure you're applying for it, grade applying for it, checked, and then those will be populated. The other thing she can do, Dan, is or you could do. This may not be a bad idea. I've done this a couple times. Is basically say, all right, let's look at grade applying for, and group by or sort by grade applying for, right?
I know where you're going, but
you know where I'm going,
yeah.
And then just kind
look
of
for mismatches.
Like, well, look like I really grouped. Yeah, here we go. So nursery 2028, right? Pre-K 2027, kindergarten 2026, so on and so forth.
Yeah, 108 times, but yeah, so that's we can make sure that what's in there is right, I suppose. But you can see why I almost want to take away her ability to make a mistake. I don't have time to spot check her work, and I
Right. So in other words,
put in the grade, and if it's this year and it's that grade, then you're this graduation year.
Yeah.
It knows. I mean, the system knows. I mean, just like our brain knows when we're going up and down that list. Why not have the system just do it?
Right. Right. And the system does it, but you're saying the problem is she can change and therefore leaves open the possibility of error.
Well, the required fields aren't required when you do it manually. It's not a required.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So
what would happen if the person messed up? Like if the grade apply? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. The graduation.
Here's the thing. To go back to kind of the assumption. If we click add a prospect here, at a number of schools, they actually. I can tell you I've had more than one conversation with schools that say, well, we don't know their grade applying for yet, so we don't want to require that field. And so we want to leave it as none. We don't want to just pick something, So I think that's, when entering this screen is why, by default, we didn't actually require that.
Understood.
Or we don't know the year applying for yet, because we have moms who, are just barely pregnant, and they're like, hey, I want my kids to go to Friends Central.
Yeah, all right.
In 5 years.